Okay, we're back again with the on-deck locomotive now, and wanted to show you guys how the cab filling replacement speaker from Scale Sound Systems sounds. I haven't done any programming to this locomotive at all. It is still set at address 3. It's right out of the box. And all I've done to this locomotive is just swap out the speakers. So it's not really an apples to apples comparison with what you saw in the previous video, but holy cow, the volume on this and the clarity on this is really impressive. And as much as the drop-in replacement speaker from Scale Sound Systems noticeably and dramatically improve the sound from the stock speaker, this cab filling speaker is an order of magnitude even way beyond the drop-in replacement, and in my mind as wonderful and as beautiful as the cab interior is. I have a unit that has the cab interior and you can see it for all its glory, but on this one I'm definitely willing to sacrifice the interior for this kind of sound. So we'll go through the startup sequence and then we'll end with yet another mystery sound. I'll post this on the Facebook group and the blog as well. I did discover that the sound slot 30, which was the mystery in the previous video, is in fact the rod clank for the 45 tonner, which for some reason Rapido has as part of its sound package. But fun fact, whenever I sucked down the values from this brand new out of box on deck unit, it populated all of the sound slot labels in my local programmer. So thankfully I was able to do a screenshot of those, so I have a list of those if anybody is interested. And inexplicably, whenever I closed out of the local programmer and went back in, all the labels were gone, even though the file hadn't changed at all. So not quite sure why that is, but nevertheless, the mystery sound from last night, sound slot 30, it's the 45 tonner rod clank. The mystery sound tonight, though, has a much more sinister origin, I'm afraid, and you'll hear that in just a minute. But first, let's go through the startup sequence of the Scale Sound Systems cab filling speaker. And here we go. Gotta hit the correct button. Here we go. Notice two prime movers separately starting up. Here's the bell. And plug your ears. Here's the horn. No distortion at all. Very clear sound. I'm going to shut it down now. Wow, it's super impressive. The clarity of the sound at high volume is really impressive. I am very, very much going to reduce the volumes on these sounds, but I'm really looking forward to being able to hear all the separate sounds clearly without any distortion, no matter what volume I set it at. So good news, bad news. For our next sequence here, the good news is that these 44 tonners, they run like a Swiss watch. It's so smooth, like butter, beautiful, except for this particular one, which you'll see and hear in just a minute. That ain't good. So I'm going to have to open this back up and figure out what is stuck in the gear towers or something. Definitely smoother going in the other direction. I'm not quite sure which way is front. I think going forward it's a little smoother. But I think this is going to be easy to fix. I hope it is, because that ain't right. But when it ain't clicking like that, it sure is smooth. Anyway, that's the Scale Sound Systems cab filling speaker. Definitely worth it, I think, as long as you're willing to sacrifice the cab interior, which, if you're not willing, in my opinion, if you're not willing to cut out the window to have there be an open window on the engineer's side, really not super worth it, in my opinion. When you have the open window, you can really see the interior, and then I think it's worth it. You can see the gauges and everything on the control stand. Really, really beautifully done. But if you're not willing to do that, you might as well just take out the interior totally and replace it with this speaker. I don't think you'll be disappointed. So now for my next trick, I'm going to try and figure out what that banging noise is. So in the meantime, hope you're all well, and thanks for watching.